Well, hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper for Takedown Media. Our coverage of the sport has us going east today to Norfolk, Virginia for a conversation with a great guy. He's the associate head coach, as a matter of fact. It's Mike Dixon from Old Dominion. Mike, how are you?
Doing well, Scott. How are you?
Good. It's a warm day in Norfolk. Exactly how hot is it?
Supposed to get up to 102. I know at 8:30 this morning, I think it was already 88 degrees. So
So head coaches feel the heat even perhaps more than others?
I think everybody's feeling the heat today.
Okay. All right. Now, I said head coach. You truly are the associate head coach there, along with Steve Martin. Let's talk a little bit about Old Dominion. You seem to have been taking a rather big bite of the social media apple as of late, drumming up publicity, promotion, raising awareness, and making everybody know that Old Dominion Wrestling is not just for real. It's here, and it's strong. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, social media is a big avenue to kind of market your program nowadays, and especially it's huge with recruiting. It's just kind of the way the world is going nowadays, and you can either fight it or embrace it, and we've kind of chose to embrace it. I think we have a strong Facebook following. And then a few years later, we jumped on Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. We actually just started up a Instagram account. Although if you ask me how to operate any of these things, I couldn't tell you. But I know it's an avenue. It's a way to kind of get your story out there, and we want to be able to tell our story. We're not necessarily one of those programs that's on ESPN on a daily basis, but we want to be able to tell our story and know that kids can accomplish all their goals that they want to at a school like Old Dominion.
Exactly, and Old Dominion has improved so much over the last year, and one of the reasons why, of course, great coaches. And let's start with your assistant there, Alex Dolly, competing in the first tournament of its kind, an inaugural tournament in Europe.
That's right. He's competing in the European Games. He's wrestling for Ireland. He's a dual citizen with the U.S. and Ireland. His grandfather was actually born on the boat coming over to Ireland. And I think today he's at the competition venue, and I believe he competes in the next day or so over at Ireland. So, and that'll qualify him for the World Championships, which take place in Las Vegas in this September. So, we're certainly sending our best wishes out to Coach Dolly, and, hopefully he comes back with the European Games Championship.
Others competing in under postgraduate scholarship status would be Tristan Warner. What can you tell us or update us about with Tristan Warner?
Tristan is actually going to be working in the sports information department here at Old Dominion, as well as obtaining his master's degree in sports management. And he's kind of, when we brought him in, he was kind of one of the kids that kind of helped, I guess you could say, turn the ship around in terms of the culture with our program and the type of kids we recruit. We look into character real big, and I mean, we honestly try and model the kids after somebody like Tristan Warner. He's a kid, doesn't drink, doesn't really party much. He's, studying pretty much all the time. I mean, the guys that he lived with in his house, I think the guy with the lowest GPA had a 3.63, and they were like all biology or exercise science majors or physiology. So I mean, that's who we'd like to get, is people like that in our program. If we could take 30 Tristan Warners, we'd love to have him. So he's somebody that's still going to be part of our program, helping us out. And like I said, he's working on obtaining his master's degree. So he'll be missed on the wrestling mat, but he will still be around for all you ODU fans out there.
And to inspire guys, inspirational wrestling. Let's talk a bit about assistant coach Kyle Hutter. I was so glad we didn't do this interview. We were originally scheduled to do it on Saturday, and I asked if we could wait. And one of the benefits of waiting, I got a little better picture of watching Kyle Hutter compete at the World Team Trials in Madison. Talk to us a bit about Kyle and ultimately how he fared.
Yeah, Kyle, he was on the national team, I think, in 2013, and he has aspirations and goals of being the U.S. Olympic representative at, I think it's 57 kilos now. They bumped up the weight class. He tried to make a change in weight this year. and he's basically going to go back down to 57 kilos for the run at the 2016 Olympics. He was able to make it to the World Team Trials this year, so he's one of the top guys in the country at his weight. And he's a guy. He's always training. He's always working hard, and we're hoping good things will eventually come to him. And like I said, 2016 is it's coming right around the corner, and he's actually getting ready to go to a world team camp here in a little bit to train and kind of help the current U.S. team for the World Championships. But we certainly want Kyle to be on the Olympic team come a year from now.
Now, that's not the whole picture. We have Kevin Beasley, who completed a run in the senior world team trials in Greco and earned a spot on the U.S. national team, Coach. It seems like the good news keeps on coming.
Yeah, and with Beasley, it's a unique situation because basically, I mean, the kid has been training folk style the whole time. I mean, that was he went out to the U.S. Open, took second. That was really just a month's worth of training, against really grown men that can specifically focus on Greco. So for him, 21, and he just turned 21. He was pretty much 20 the whole year. For him at 21 to be on the U.S. national team at Greco, I think that's quite an accomplishment. He was able to go out to the World Team Trials. He finished second there. So like you said, he's on the U.S. national team. And I think bigger and better things are to come for Beasley, and he's still young enough that, hopefully in his future there are many, many Olympic teams. So, we're just going to try and take it one step at a time with Beasley, and we're going to do what we can to try and help him achieve his goals. He wants to win an NCAA title, and he also wants to become an Olympic champion.
I loved how he reached the finals in Las Vegas at the U.S. Open. He and these are the scores, folks, for goodness sakes. The guy has not been wrestling Greco, okay? He beat Wes Cathcart 9-0 tech fall. James Souza, 8-0 tech fall. John Wechter, a fall 57 seconds, the time of the fall. Then he reached the finals and took out Kaylor Williams in the best of three. Although he fell in the first two bouts of the three-time world team member to the three-time world team member, he had an impressive showing as the youngest competitor to advance to the final round. I like what I see. He's not just wrestling with heart. There's some kind of innate physical ability. His body is appreciating Greco-Roman.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's something he's very good at, and it's something we want to take some of the things from Greco and translate it over to the folk style, collegiate style, because he just has a different type of presence on the mat in Greco that he doesn't quite have in folk style. But I think he's learned a lot this year with his success that he's had in the spring. I think he's got a new confidence, and I think he knows he can accomplish his goals collegiately as well as Greco internationally. So that's something, we're just continually trying to work on. And, like I said, I think the sky's the limit with him.
I think it's wonderful. Mike Dixon, associate head coach of Old Dominion. Steve Martin, of course, the head man there. Kyle Hutter, volunteer assistant. Alex Dolly, assistant coaches. We have two student managers, and Susan Arzina, I believe it is. Azarsina, and Leah John. Is that right?
Yes.
Did I get that one right?
That is correct. And
right, just want to make
Leah
sure.
has been our easiest recruit from Pennsylvania that we've been able to get, actually.
You got started somewhere.
Yeah, we try to get all these kids from PA, but all we can get is a manager right now. But she does a great job. We love her, and she loves wrestling, so she's awesome for us.
I love it, folks. You can look online for ODU and of course their athletics programs by going to odusports.com. odusports.com. Our guest in the Nike hot seat today is the associate head coach, Mike Dixon. Mike, being elevated to the position of associate head coach is quite an honor. I think it tells the wrestling community, what the university, what your boss thinks of you. It's a nice tip of the cap for a job well done. So I say congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an honor, and last year I was Steve, along with Dr. Seelig and President Broderick, were gracious enough to elevate me to associate head coach, and I've just tried to kind of, work my tail off to hopefully get this program better, and hopefully make my impact on this university an important one, and hopefully, we are doing a good job with these kids in terms of getting them better at wrestling and getting them college degrees and making them productive members of society.
How has the change to the new conference for you guys now that you've been at it for a year or so? How has that been for the program?
It's been awesome for us. Anytime you have change, there's going to be some ups and downs. And I think at the beginning, when we first moved to the MAC, I don't think we quite realized the difference between our old conference, the CA, and the new conference, the MAC, the Mid-American. So I think there were some ups and downs in the beginning, but about a year and a half ago or so, our guys kind of figured out, turned the corner, and they started making some adjustments in training, and obviously that ended up showing up in competition. So 2 years ago, we finished third in the conference, and you had teams like Northern Iowa, which I think that year they were the only undefeated team in the country. They were ranked top 5 in the country. Then you had Missouri, who's, pretty much year in, year out a top 10 team. And then this past year, we had goals of trying to win the conference. Unfortunately, we fell a little bit short of that. But we wrestled Missouri early in the dual meet season. And we had 3 matches that basically we had leads in that we ended up falling on the short end with. And we ended up not winning that dual meet. But, I think that was a huge difference in that match. I think we would have had a good chance at beating Missouri if some of those results had turned around. And at the conference tournament, we didn't quite get what we wanted to accomplish, but we had set a school record with 7 national qualifiers. In the national tournament, we had 2 All-Americans. We're gonna have 3 returning All-Americans in the room. So we accomplished a lot of good things this year, but we're still looking to put it all together at one national tournament. So hopefully in 2016 at Madison Square Garden, that can happen for us.
We're again talking with one of the great coaches out there. I don't think enough is said for the work you put in, Mike, and the results that you've gotten. But we, for one, wanted to throw a little bit of light on it today, if only to offer you up as an example. Coaching, specifically this time of year, this is when real coaches, I think, are made, because it's not just staying busy, it's making great use of the time as you spend it. And the kids that are there, well, that's a great question. My follow-up question was going to be about how does Old Dominion spend its summer months? The room, is it open? Do they get open workouts? Tell me a little bit about what the young men are doing right now.
We got kids kind of doing all kind of things right now. Some of our kids are in summer school right now. Like I said, Beasley was doing basically Greco and competed at the World Team Trials almost, I guess it's almost been 2 weeks ago now. So I was up there with him in Ithaca, New York. Right now we're getting ready to start a couple camps here. So we got a lot of our kids right here on campus, and that's basically kind of a training phase for our guys. They're kind of working out 2 or 3 times a day. We do have open mat. We actually have an open mat this afternoon. So it's staying busy, and the guys that are hungry and want to get better, they take those initiatives, and they participate, and those results end up showing themselves in March. It's not what you do during season, because everybody's pretty much doing similar things in season. It's when the national tournament ended, March 22nd or whatever it was in St. Louis, up until basically once school begins, it's what are you doing in that time? And we got a lot of guys that, they're just staying down here. They've gotten jobs here, and they're working jobs and working some camps and getting training in. And those are the guys that are going to have the impact on our team.
I love it. Love it. So it's the work that you're putting in now that'll pay off in spades as we hit the season. And the season seems to creep, and then all of a sudden it's here. It's
It's here
just
before you know it. It's
yeah.
here before you know it.
No, and then it's gone, and then it's over. You know what I mean?
That's
But
right.
well, look, is there anything we haven't talked about, Mike, that you would appreciate us making sure it's available to the public?
No, like I said, we just got some camps coming up. So you can go on our website, odusports.com or grambyschool.com or 3stylewrestlingcamps.com. We've got some good camps coming up, and like I said, we're looking forward to. I think we got a good incoming freshman class coming in. It's a large one. It's probably the largest I've ever had since I've been here. So, on the coaches end, that's going to be a lot of work on our end. But
Sure.
I think we got some freshmen that I think they can have an impact on our team in due time, whether that's year 1, year 2, whenever. But they're more than likely there's probably going to be some freshmen wrestling for us right away. So that'll be exciting. But we got to be able to take the good with the bad sometimes when you deal with freshmen. So
And you got 2 guys on the team, at least 2 that I know, that can use, wear, and make look good a bow tie. How about that? I'm looking at your team picture right now, the 2014-2015 roster, and I've got 2 guys in bow ties. Anyway, good-looking group of guys. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here in the Nike Hot Seat here at Takedown Wrestle. Appreciate it. We hope that you and Steve have an outstanding summer. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time around, and surely be able to shake your hand then. I appreciate it.
absolutely, and you look good at the World Team Trials there. I wasn't there in Madison, but I was able to catch it on TV. So
I'm glad.
you look
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much, Mike. Surely appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Nothing but hard work, my friend. Nothing but hard work. All right, Mike Dixon has been our guest in the Nike Hot Seat today, the associate head coach of Old Dominion. The Monarchs, look for him online at odusports.com. Appreciate the opportunity to talk with Mike today, and this has been brought to you in part by our friends at Nike.